Okay. Fine. So good morning, everyone. Yes, good morning. So let everyone join. Seems that everyone has joined already. So can you just tell me the page number? Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning to all of you. Yes. Just give me a second. Page number 81. Okay. Page number 81. So let us move on to the page number 81. All right. So what was the last point? Can you tell me what was the last point? We were defining some thermodynamic processes, right? What is isothermal process? What is adiabatic process? What is isobaric process? That we are about to write down. Okay. So let's begin that simple point. Now entire thermodynamics is easy. Okay. All the easier parts are remaining now. Some mathematical, some logical parts are remaining now, but those will be easy. Okay. Fine. So I think we were about to write the definition of or the information about the isothermal process and the lecture was over. So let's write that again. So everyone start writing along with me. And whenever any one of you has any doubt, okay, you should ask that doubt. Okay. त्यामुळे कळालं नाही समजलं नाही अशी सिच्युएशन राहायलाच नको आहे. ओके. अशी कुठली सिच्युएशन नको आहे आपल्याला ज्यात तुम्ही नंतर असं म्हणाल मला नाही समजलं किंवा नाही कळालं. Either you shall ask that in the lecture, or if not possible in the lecture, then you can ask it after the lecture. Okay, but get your doubts cleared. Okay, either from me or Manoj sir, from anyone. Fine. But make sure that there is no case that की समजलं नाही किंवा नॉट अंडरस्टँडिंग अशी कुठली केस नको आहे. कारण एवढं अवघड काहीच नाहीये. ओके, एव्हरीथिंग इज व्हेरी इझी. फाईन. सो लेट मी राईट डाऊन द डेफिनेशन ऑफ isothermal process. Isothermal process. Okay, the process in which temperature of the system remains constant. Temperature of the system remains constant. So from one state to another state, let's say pressure was P1, volume was V1, and temperature is T. No need to write T1 because temperature is not going to change, so no need to write T1 and T2. Okay, and this state will be changed to some other state, let's say P2, V2. Temperature will remain same as T. No need to write T2. Okay, and this process will be isothermal process. Process will be isothermal process. Process will be isothermal process. Okay, sir. Fine. Now let us write the next definition, that is adiabatic process. Very interesting process. Adiabatic process. Adiabatic process. Okay. Now in isothermal process, temperature of the system remains constant. I am not saying temperature remains zero. I am saying temperature remains constant. Zero is just a number which is a special case of constant number. Okay, fine. Now isothermal process is over. Now I am referring to adiabatic process. Now let me write here process in which heat exchanged between system and surrounding. Heat exchanged between system and surrounding. Some people write it as Q, some people write it as delta Q. We don't have any problem with those people. They can write anything they want. Q is equal to delta Q is equal to 0. See, I am saying heat exchange between system and surrounding to be equal to 0. I am not saying that temperature is equal to 0. I am not saying that temperature is not changing. I am not saying that temperature is constant. I am not saying anything about temperature. In the adiabatic process, I am saying about Q. Heat exchange is 0. Heat exchange is 0. So temperature might be changing, might not be changing. I just don't know right now. But heat exchange is 0. That's it. Heat exchange is 0. And here in the isothermal process, I am not talking about heat. In isothermal process, I am not talking about heat. In isothermal process, I am talking about temperature. In adiabatic process, I am talking about heat. In isothermal process, I am saying temperature is constant. Whether the heat is exchanged, not exchanged, it must exchange, it must not exchange. I am not bothered about heat in case of isothermal. I am bothered about temperature. To maintain temperature constant, heat may be exchanged. Listen to this carefully. To maintain temperature constant, heat may be exchanged. So right now I am not bothered about heat in case of isothermal process. I am bothered about temperature only. Okay, sir. And in adiabatic process, now I am not bothered about temperature. I am bothered about heat exchange. Heat exchange should be equal to 0. Whether the temperature is changing, not changing, whether it is constant, I am not bothered about it. What I am bothered about is in adiabatic process, heat exchange is 0. Heat exchange between system and surrounding should be equal to 0. Is this point clear to all of you? Reply in the chat box, small, small, everyone. Fast. Good. Okay, so this point of difference is clear to us, sir. Let's move on. Next process is isobaric process. Next process is isobaric process, isothermal, adiabatic. Next process is isobaric process, the process in which pressure of the system remains constant. Just write down the process in which pressure of the system, of course now we are considering the gaseous system, the process in which pressure of the system remains constant is called as isobaric process. So what we shall write is, we shall write P comma V1 comma T1 is equal to, pressure will remain same, P comma V2 comma T2. So V1 T1 is there, V2 T2 is there, but pressure is not changing, so no need to write T1 and T2. Just write P and P. I wrote here equal to, that's wrong thing. I should write arrow. Okay, this is isobaric. Pressure is not changing. Pressure is not changing. That's it. Very simple thing. Okay. Now let us write the next definition. Next definition is for isochoric process. Next definition is for isochoric process. Okay, they have also written it like this: isovolumic process, isochoric or isovolumic process. Definition is process in which volume of the system remains constant. Volume of the system remains constant. Process in which volume of the system remains constant. Okay, sir. Then what shall I write? P1. No need to write V1, V2. Just write V. Changing to P2. Volume will remain V. Temperature will become T2. All right. This is what this is iso. This is isovolumic or simply isochoric. Isochoric sounds better, so we'll use isochoric. All right. Fine, sir. Process number 4, that is also now clear to us. Now let us write about process number 5, cyclic process. Very simple. Cyclic process. See, very interesting thing. In the cyclic process, what is going to happen? Let me describe. Let's say initially pressure was P1, volume was V1, temperature was T1. Now that pressure, volume, temperature is changing. Pressure is changing, volume is changing, temperature is changing. But ultimately, after all the changes, after all the intermediate steps, again you will come back to the final stage as pressure equal to P1, volume equal to V1, temperature equal to T1. So when initial and final states are same, after large amount of changes in the system, instead of saying large amount of changes, let's say after various changes in the system, okay, step by step there will be some changes in the system, states of the system will be changed, but initial state of the system and final state of the system, if they are same, it means that the system has been carried out through a cyclic process. The system has been carried out through a cyclic process. So ultimately pressure, volume, temperature, or in short all the macroscopic variables will be initial equal to final. Initial microscopic variables equal to final microscopic variables, or you may say initial state of the system is equal to final state of the system. Initial equal to final, what does that mean? Ultimately there are series of changes in the system, but ultimately final temperature, pressure and volume are same. So when initial and final states of the systems are same, it is called as cyclic process. Is this point clear to all of you? Reply in the chat box fast. Cyclic process. We just discussed what is cyclic process. Nothing is difficult in this. Initial state is equal to final state जर असेल बाळांनो, what does that mean? तुम्ही फिरून परत तिथं आलाय. It means that you have made a complete round and you have reached again the same point or the same state. Okay sir, fine. So in the cyclic process, pressure, let's say P1, pressure, volume, let's say V1, or let us write it like this, not like this. Let us write it PVT initial is equal to pressure is equal to, I am writing now, pressure, volume, temperature, final. So let's write the definition. Process in which initial and final states, initial and final states are same. When initial and final states of the system are same, that certainly means that whatever that process is combiningly called as cyclic process. Okay, cyclic process may involve series of these processes. Okay, म्हणजे थोडा वेळ आयसोथर्मल झाली, मग परत आयसोबारिक झाली, परत आयसोव्हॉल्युमिक झाली, परत चेंजेस होत अल्टिमेटली परत तुम्ही त्याच ठिकाणी आलात. ओके, सो दॅट we will study that in detail also. We will solve the questions based on cyclic process also. Okay, fine sir, no problem. Now there is one more process, reversible and irreversible process. Okay, we are just listing down the types of processes. So let us list down the next type, reversible. Okay, reversible and irreversible. Okay, very interesting point this is. Irreversible, reversible and irreversible process. Now right now no information is given in the module about this, but on some next pages they have written all the information in detail about this. Okay, so for time being let us not write anything in this. Okay, let us not write anything in the reversible and irreversible process. That information, that point is separately written. ओके, शॉर्ट मध्ये असं लगेच सांगता येत नाही. ओके, म्हणून त्यांनी काय केलंय, डिटेल मध्ये याचा एक सेपरेट पॅराग्राफ दिलेला आहे, दॅट वी विल लर्न. ओके, फाइन. नाउ लेट अस मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट. जस्ट राइट दिस डाउन. लिहून झालं का बघा. नाउ द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज अबाउट indicator diagram. What is the meaning of indicator diagram? Okay, what is the indicator diagram? Let us define indicator diagram. Very simple thing. This you have already done, but let us define it properly. Let us try to understand it. Okay, Write down indicator diagram. Next point. Okay, indicator diagram is not a type of process. Types of process samplaya. Okay. About this we will separately learn. Okay. About this we will separately learn. Okay, sir. Fine. Now let us write down the next point as indicator diagram. Okay, what is this now? Indicator diagram. Let's learn indicator diagram. Okay. Just write down the definition that they have written. Their definition is the graphical representation of the change in state. Okay, let us write the graphical representation of the graphical representation of the graphical representation of change of state of system of change of state of system. Okay, the graphical representation of change of state of system is called as indicator diagram. So it is a graph. That's it. What is indicator diagram? It is a graph. So whenever there is a graph, there will be some y-axis, there will be some x-axis. Y-axis we have to plot some quantity. On x-axis we have to plot some quantity. That's it. It is a graph of some quantity on y-axis versus some quantity on x-axis. That's it. It is called as indicator diagram. Okay. Sir, what is to be plotted on y-axis? Any of the macroscopic variable. On y-axis you can plot temperature, pressure, volume. Okay. Or also on the x-axis you can plot temperature, pressure and volume. So sir, you want to say that on the y-axis and on the x-axis we have to plot either pressure or volume or temperature. Yes, that's what I want to say. And also on the x-axis you may plot pressure or volume or temperature. Okay. Now most of the times you will observe that for a system, most of the times graph is plotted between pressure and volume. थोडंसं zoom करा. Okay, zoom नाही करतायत करूयात तरी बघ जरा. थोडंसं मोठं काढूयात आपण. क्लिअर आहे ना? येस, क्लिअर तर आहे. झूम केलं की ते सगळं सेटअप खराब होतो. गेलं का रिफ्लेक्शन? ते थोड्या वेळासाठी येऊ शकतं रिफ्लेक्शन मधनच, अदरवाइज नाही येत. It seems okay everything. I have second device which is recording it. Fine. So now you tell me, most of the times you have seen on the y-axis pressure is plotted and on the x-axis volume is plotted. So most of the times pressure and volume are plotted on y-axis versus x-axis. So that diagram is called as pressure volume indicator diagram. That diagram is called as pressure volume indicator diagram or simply PV curve. It is also called as P dash V. P dash V means what? Pressure dash volume aside. Okay, so pressure volume curve, it is called as pressure volume curve. It's not like pressure minus volume, it's pressure dash volume or simply pressure volume curve. Okay, so we can plot the pressure volume curve. Okay sir, let us try to plot the pressure volume curve. Pressure volume curve is one of the indicator diagrams. There can be many indicator diagrams. You can plot pressure versus temperature, you can plot volume versus temperature, you can plot pressure versus volume, you can plot pressure, you can plot temperature versus pressure or temperature versus volume. Okay, any combination you can take. Okay sir, fine. Now we know what is indicator diagram. It is simply a graph. Okay, now this indicator diagram, what we have to indicate in this indicator diagram? We have to indicate the values of, let's say, pressure and volume. Initially it was, let's say, this. Finally, let's say pressure and volume values are this. Okay, and in between, let's say, these are the values. We have to plot all the points, and after plotting all the points, we have to draw a curve joining all those points. Okay, so initial pressure and volume are this is the initial pressure, and corresponding to that, here we have the initial volume. This is the final pressure, and corresponding to that, here we have the final volume, and this is the initial state, this is the final state, and these are the intermediate states. These are the n number of intermediate states. Okay, sir. So on the pressure volume diagram, we have to indicate these states, and we have to draw a curve passing through all those points or all those states. Okay. So up to this, is that clear? Everyone reply me. इथपर्यंत समजलं का जरा बघा. So what is indicator diagram in short? Simple things those are, but all these things will be useful for us to understand other parts of the thermodynamics. Okay, to understand thermodynamics, we need to plot the indicator diagrams. Most of the times pressure and volume is plotted, most of the times. Okay, fine, sir. Now let us move on to the next point. Okay. Okay, heat, internal energy and work. Okay, now in thermodynamics we will be talking about heat, internal energy, and work. Okay, actually this is all about thermodynamics is concerned with heat, internal energy and work. Heat and work specifically, not even internal energy. Basically we are concerned with heat and the work. Okay, in thermodynamics is concerned with heat and work that is done on the system or which is done by the system. Okay, sir, fine. So what is heat? First point, heat. What is heat? Heat is the energy, just keep on writing. Heat is the energy that flows between system and surrounding. Okay, system and surrounding, because of what? Can you tell me? Because of what? We have already defined heat in calorimetry. Can you tell me? Can you recall? Yes, perfect answer, correct answer. It is perfect, correct Akash, answer बरोबर येते. So all of you are giving the correct answer. That means you can very easily recall that the definition of heat was, heat is that energy which flows between the system and the surrounding because of, sir, temperature difference. Okay, temperature difference, because of temperature difference. All right, sir. Now next, this is the definition of heat. Okay, now let us write some other information about heat also. Let's see what are the informations that they have given. So first point was the definition of the heat. Now the second point is, heat is path dependent quantity. Okay, now what is path dependent and path independent? Let's see. Heat is, just keep on writing. This was the first point. Now we are making the second point about heat. Heat is path dependent quantity. It is path dependent quantity. Okay, what does that mean? Let us try to understand. Okay, let us try to understand. Now what is the meaning of path? Meaning of the path is process. Okay, meaning of the path is process. Fine, sir. So let us try to draw one indicator diagram. Let us try to draw one indicator diagram. Let us try to draw pressure volume indicator diagram, pressure volume curve, PV curve. Okay, sir. Now let's say this is the initial state. Okay, let's say this is the final state. Fine. Let's say from this initial state to this final state, we moved with this path. Okay, we moved along this path. This is the initial state. Let's say point is P1 comma V1. Okay, sir. This is the final state. Point is P2 comma V2. Okay, and these are the intermediate steps. These are the intermediate steps or intermediate states. State, and connecting all those states, you will get a pressure volume curve. Okay, so this is the path number 1. Okay, let's say in this path, whatever heat exchange has taken place is, let's say, Q1. During this path, during this process, path means process, या प्रोसेस मध्ये झालेला हीट एक्सचेंज बाळांनो, लेट्स से Q1, and let's say from the same initial state we can reach the same final state, maybe from some other path like this, try to understand. And in this path, initial state is same, final state is same, okay, but path is different, means intermediate states are different. So in this path, whatever heat exchange has been taken place is, let's say, Q2, and we can say that Q1 is not equal to Q2, or we can observe that Q1 is not equal to Q2, and therefore we shall say Q depends on path. Q depends on path. Let me know in the chat box, is this point clear to all of you? Dependence on path means what? Path dependence म्हणजे काय, समजलं का? जरा चेक करा. Let me know. बघा बाळांनो, समजलं का? Path dependence. I have made it very simple now, because now you know what is indicator diagram. If you know what is indicator diagram, in the indicator diagram you can observe process number 1, where the heat exchange between system and surrounding is Q1. Here also you can observe the process number 2. In that process, heat exchange between system and surrounding is Q2. Now they are saying that we observe that Q1 is not equal to Q2. That means Q depends on path. So it is also called as path function. Q is also called as path function. Okay. So Q is called as path function. So let us write a note. So heat is path function. Heat is path function. Okay, sir. Heat is path function. This is what we observe. This is what we observe. We observe that Q1 is not equal to Q2. It means that Q depends on the path. So heat is called as path function. It is called as path function. Okay, sir. Now we understand what is the meaning of path function. Okay. Now next. Next, they have written something like this. Let us try to understand. We know specific heat at constant volume. We know specific heat at constant pressure. But in general, what is the specific heat? Of course, we are talking about molar specific heat. Okay. So, write down the third point about heat. They have written this point. We will also write it down. For gases, heat. जर फॉर्म्युला पाहिजे असेल, okay, what is the amount of heat exchange? If you want to calculate, then you simply have to write NC delta T. Okay, see, I am not writing this like heat exchange at constant pressure is equal to NCP dt. It is a different thing. It is a isobaric process and heat exchange in isobaric process. For isobaric process, you have to write it as Cp. Okay. QV is equal to NCV delta T. But in general, this is also true. In general, this is also true. This is called as molar specific heat. It can be at constant volume, it can be at constant pressure, or it can be in general. This is in general molar specific heat. This is in general molar specific heat. Try to understand. Okay. We do not need to mention here whether the process is isochoric, isobaric. If it is in general given what is molar specific heat, then you have to write the formula of NC delta T to find out the heat exchange between system and surrounding. This is basically the formula for heat exchange. Now some people may write this as Q, or some people may write this as delta Q. We don't have any problem with those people. But is this point clear to all of you? C म्हणजे काय? Molar specific heat. Now the process can be isobaric process. In that process, instead of writing Q, write QP. Instead of writing C, write CP. The process can be isovolumic process or isochoric process. In that case, instead of Q, write QV. Instead of C, write CV. Is that point clear? Let me know. एक point समजून घ्या. Just give me a second. Fine. समजलं का? Reply, everyone. Simple definition for Q is NC delta T. That's it. Sometimes the process may be isobaric. In that case, instead of C, use CP. If the process you know that it is isovolumic or isochoric, then instead of C, use CV. But if you don't know what is the process, then you will be directly given the Molar specific heat. Just use direct formula NC delta T. We don't know what the process is. It can be isothermal also. If the process is isothermal, what do you think? For isothermal process, what will be the heat exchange from this formula?